Jesus, mother. Woo!
せーの、皆さん、こんにちは、アイザクです。はい、もう1年前くらいメルブンに出ちゃった。寂しいな。留学するために、3年間くらいメルブンに来て泊まりました。勉強の他に、僕も名所に観光して、オーストラリアの文化も習って、友達にできて、そして言語交換のイベントに行きました。言語交換イベントで日本語を練習したいから、たくさん日本人友達にできてけど、オーストラリアの友達もできました。だから、今回は日本の文化にも興味があるの、オーストラリアの男性にインタビューして、名前はタランです。タランは面白すぎて、おかしすぎて、タランの冗談もいつもみんなたちに笑ってくれました。初めて前にインタビューとか観光とかの他の動画をチェックしてください。Hey Taran, it's been a while. How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. I miss your Australian accent.
My Australian accent, huh?
Yeah.
It's not a strong Australian accent, like because I'm from Melbourne. If you went to other cities, it's a lot stronger. But yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fair enough. First of all, I was just wondering why are you so interested in Japanese culture?
Starts off from childhood. Growing up in the 90s, there was a lot of Japanese influence everywhere. We're talking cars, cartoons, you name it. So I grew up with a TV show, maybe you know it, Sailor Moon.
Oh,
that was the first TV show I ever watched, the first one. So it started off from there, that goofiness it has, like, you know, it shows like not only characters, you know, in like anime and stuff, but that's kind of like how Japanese people are in a way. They can be a bit like interesting when you interact with them. So I guess it starts off from there, and then like cars, Japanese cars. I love Japanese cars, really cool. And then basically learning Japanese in high school. So yeah, I mastered the hiragana chart and a little bit of katakana, and then basically I've tried to carry off from there and then basically self-learn from there. But I think it's very easy to get influenced by Japanese culture and, you know, everything around it. I think it is anyway. It just suits me as a person too.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, as you mentioned about the Sailor Moon, so apparently Sailor Moon is very popular back in 90s. So how does it really influence you?
Basically, it gave me insight on, I guess, you know, because sometimes like these shows, they have kind of like Japanese inside jokes that you'll probably never understand until maybe later. I can't really think of an example because it's been decades since I've actually watched that. But I'm just saying, like, it kind of like mirrors what actually happens over there, like the streets, stuff like this. You know, you'll notice like it tries to influence a bit of that on Westerners, you know, in their own, like, you know, ways. Yeah, basically that's the origins of it for me. That's basically where it started. But it did. I think it was one of the major influences. But of course, you know, many other things that make, you know, Japan a very interesting country and a very interesting place. So it makes me want to go over there again.
Wow.
Because there's so much to do.
I mean, have you been to Japan before?
Yeah, so I went last year, January. Yeah, I wanted to go again. But for even longer, I was going to go to many different cities.
Wow.
Maybe,
For example?
I want to do less touristy stuff. I want to do stuff like, I guess, people have never done before. For example, I was going to do a tour at Yakushima Island. Yeah, massive tree. And the oldest tree in the world, they say, which could date back to 7,000 years. So I was actually going to go for a hike around there with the tour guide and everything. That would have been a really good experience. But yeah, I just wanted to do some different stuff compared to last time. Some familiar stuff, obviously, some stuff I've done before, which you have to do again, because there are some things that you just have to do when you go there, because you can never do it here or Germany or any other country. You can't, you know, it's just got stuff over there that makes it really special.
I mean, whenever anyone goes to Japan, first thing first, you should go to Akihabara.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Akihabara, the electric town. Oh, it's sick. It's really good. I remember the first place we went into was a gaming shop. And we went in there, and it's like 4 floors, and you know the stairways, they're freaking narrow, like so narrow.
It is.
Go up there. and very steep.
It is. I mean, it's every places in Japan, any high buildings in Japan, the stairways and the road is so narrow. Like
Yeah, it was really funny because you had to wait for one person to come down, then you could go up. It was just
I know,
like
right?
screwing up, man. Yeah,
I know,
like,
right?
it's kind of funny. And then like it just had so much like interesting merchandise and stuff.
Mm.
But I think the most interesting thing was having a smoking room indoors with the window open. So basically in the same building, just like a couple of floors up, they had this arcade center. I was like, oh man, it was all crammed up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then at the very back of the game, there were a couple of windows open. Some smokers like this, you know. I was just like, what's going on here? Like, it's just so weird. And it was just like, oh wow, you know, they had like ashtrays and stuff. Like, it was just weird. Indoors. I was just like, okay, so we would never do it here, never.
I know.
So like, and that's what makes Japan really special. Like the little quirks and things, you know, they make it go really weird. You know, like it makes you think this is kind of a strange place, but at the same time, I kind of like it. You know, yeah.
I mean, when I was in Japan last year, I went to some izakaya places whereby it was a indoor air conditioned restaurant, but yet some of the people, especially those salaryman office lady, they were smoking inside the izakaya. I was like, what's going on? I was like,
yeah, definitely one of the things I need to do. It's a need, not a want. It's a need. Yeah, you need to do it. Yeah.
Is it going to the big cafe?
That was another thing I was going to do too. I was looking up one. Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like one of the most famous ones in Akihabara, and I was going to go there with Bev. That would have been a laugh. We had like a lot of fun, and you know, play the little games that they play. Because apparently, I've seen a video of it, and I was like, wow. It's like, you know, you really like role play and stuff, but it's interactive. So I wanted to do that too, but instead I went to Cat Cafe. That was funny. Because, like, you know, Dean. So Dean's sitting there, he's playing his game, and then, like, 3 cats come up to him. He's like, what do you want? He's like, get away from me. He's pushing the cats away. He's like, I'm trying to game, mate. It's freaking funny. Yeah. Wow. But, yeah, me and Carl were playing with the cats, you know, grabbing toys and whatever. But that was kind of nice. But sometimes you get, like, people who are like, foreigner. Not very often, but most of the time, Japanese go, oh, foreigner, you know, Japanese, and you know, they just love it. So, yeah, that's what you get most of the time anyway. What's that? Well, what?
That is a maid cafe that I went in Akihabara last year.
Oh, yeah.
Just taking picture with a maid cafe workers, it costs about 900 yen.
Yeah, it's about $15 here.
Wow.
About that much.
I mean, the funny thing about that place is that the maid cafe worker, she thought that I was a Japanese. So when she was asking for my name, I told them, Aizaku desu. Then she was like, Aizaku, your name sounds a bit different. She was speaking to me in Japanese. So after a while, I told her I'm not Japanese. And the next thing is, she got shocked. Her eye just went big. I was like, hey, maji de. Uso. She was like, are you lying? I was like, seriously, I'm not Japanese.
Nani out there? Yeah, I know. Yeah. So basically, it's a famous racetrack. You know, as you know, like that's the flyer for it.
Oh.
And basically, it's got Super GT on it. Yeah. Here's a nice one. I love this photo. This photo's great.
It seems that you really love cars.
Yeah, of course, man. I love cars. And that was when I got to drive around Hakone. So I got to drive pretty much around the mountain. Wow. In a Japanese sports car. That was a lot of fun.
Wow.
Oh, look at this. So University of Studios Japan.
USJ.
You'll see it's got like the caution dinosaurs, right? And then you got like...
Oh, right.
So he told us to do like a dinosaur pose. He's like, you know...
Yeah.
He's like, sa, ni, ich, like this. You know, like, that's what he said to us. Yeah. It's just a whole bunch of souvenirs that, you know, you got to keep. You know, when you go over there, just some memories, you know. But just like me, I'm sure you had a good experience in Japan too.
Yeah, I mean...
How can you not?
I mean, Japan is like a heaven though, I reckon.
In some ways it is, man. I guess very systematic, really systematic. Remember, like you go in one train station, it's like walk this way or walk that way, you know, kind of deal. You remember, you look on the ground and it'll tell you where to walk. And as well as the trains being on time, like all the freaking time. So if you're late, you're late. That's your fault. You know.
It's like, well, we are late. When next train will arrive in 2 more minutes. That type feeling.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. It was pretty good, yeah. Shinjuku Station was like freaking like crazy. You know, like trains everywhere. You know, JR line and Odaku, just really
private line.
Yeah, really busy. To get to Narita Airport, that was interesting. Going from Tokyo to Narita is like 4 different trains. Not too pricey, but you know, it's not like here where you have a daily cap. But I don't know. I'm not really sure about that. All I know is that I just grabbed my passport and just touched it on, and that's it.
Just get my suica, just touch on and go without looking.
Yeah, I didn't really care. I just kept loading it up and whatever at that stage. But
anyway, moving on to the next question. Thinking about driving to Hakone, which sport car do you drove and how much speed do you drove to Hakone?
So I picked a Nissan Skyline R32 GTR, which is like my dream car. It's a car I've always wanted to own. I've driven one before this experience, so I went there and I could see it was at the front of this Fun to Drive place. Really give it a try. If you love cars, go to Fun to Drive. That way you can actually have 5 hours just to bond with the car you've always wanted to drive. So we start off pretty much in the middle of nowhere. All there is just one shop and forest everywhere. There's nothing else. Maybe the mountain in the background, and that's it. Just Mount Fuji just sitting there. We went through that process, popped in the car with my mates. It was me, Carl, Dean, Alan, so full car, couldn't fit any more people, and then like, you know, just getting a feel of the car. It was just amazing. The gearbox, perfect, and the speed, really good. Very good around the corners, like, you know, going uphill, downhill, left, right. It's like initial D kind of thing, like really like this. One of the best parts was there was a bit of snow, right? So I did a couple of like drifts in the snow, and then Dean's like, "Oh my god, are you drifting?" I'm like, "Yeah." It was so easy, but like you'd be doing 30 kilometers an hour and your car would be going sideways. It was just like mental. The driver in front of me was like really scared, you know, like he was really hesitant. He was all over the joint. And me, I'm just like, I'm loving this, you know. So yeah. Then we got to go to a couple of interesting stores as well. I bought Mount Fuji Kit Kats, which is limited edition and only in the one store. Yeah, we drove around the lakes too. Got some nice photos. Right. Sadly, Mount Fuji was covered in cloud as it usually is. Right. Still fun though, but very cold.
Wow, your driving experience in Japan sounds really interesting. I mean, I would like to sit in your car someday in the future. Try your 220 kilometers driving.
I'm going to try somewhere, but, you know, I'm trying to get one of them anyway. I've actually talked to an importer, and they're finding one for me in Japan now. But the big importers are Nagoya and Tokyo. That's where you get the big auctions going on. So that's where I'm likely to find mine. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah. And when you come back here, I'll take you for a drive.
Yeah, sure.
It'll be good.
Why not?
Yeah.
All right.
Well. Oh, Jesus, mother. Holy. Holy. Jesus, mother. There we go. That gearbox, bro, I can hear it. How good is it? Nice. Right in That's gorgeous. You don't want to strike at the go-karts now, do you? Holy You see? Yeah. Now you can see it from Taran, you need one of these, baby. When's yours coming? After Thailand, mate. And then I'll take you to whatever drives you like.
Anyway, one last question. It seems that your Japanese has improved a lot. As for the last few couple of minutes ago, I've been hearing you saying some of the Japanese words like, this and that.
Yeah, just a little bit here and there. I mean, I kind of, well, now I've got a bit more time to focus on it. The speaking part, you know, my pronunciation is pretty good. It's because I've been around a lot of Japanese people. Like I have a good ear for these things because I'm, you know, partly a musician as well. But I think vocabulary-wise better. I just think, I think it's more like grammar I need to work on. And anyway, I know where I need to work on. But yeah, I just need to focus on it, and I want to keep going because I love it. Anyway, it's just good. thing to have, you know. To know a second language means it shows not only intelligence, but it shows that you have an open mind, that you open to other culture, and this is a really good thing that people really should like feel. They should feel this way. They should be more open to other people because you never know what you're going to learn. So that's why I'm going to keep learning Japanese and just keep improving on it.
皆さん、さっきの人はタラはめちゃくちゃ面白い人です。皆さんもしタラに会ったらどうぞ。
はい。どうぞよろしく。Well, guys, yeah, I mean, if you want to learn something about Japanese culture, Japanese language, something to do with Japan, or something to do with a guy who acts a bit crazy, acts a bit funny, but he's open with other people, you subscribe to his channel. Like, he's a pretty interesting guy, you know, and he's got an open mind, he's happy to listen. Yeah, he's very well in tune with, like, the Japanese community. So, yeah, if you're Japanese or you're interested in Japanese, subscribe to this guy.
忘れて前にチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。あとでいいボタンもよろしくお願いします。はい。じゃあ、またね。バイバイ。
じゃあ、またね。兄弟。
兄弟、そう、兄弟。